All right, everyone, welcome to my WWE Money in the Bank 2024 PLE review. I haven't reviewed a WWE PLE in a long, long time. Like the last time I reviewed a PLE, I think was the Royal Rumble, I think, because I remember WrestleMania. I didn't really review WrestleMania. Like all I talked about from WrestleMania was that Cody Rhodes finished the story and won the WWE Championship. But I saw this entire PLE, or there was only one match I didn't watch, which was the female ladder match. But I'm gonna get to that. Uh, Man, a couple sad things happened on the show. Which do I think the show was good? I think it was good. I think it was a good night of wrestling. I think every single match was good. Like seriously, I think every single match. Sorry, was very good to watch. And yeah, I'm here to review the PLE. So yeah, because last year I was at Money in the Bank in the audience. I got to see a lot of great matches. In person, like the ladder match and Cody Rhodes versus Dominic and John Cena making a return last year and also this year. I'm gonna get to John Cena because man, I'm pretty excited to talk about the John Cena thing that happened on this show. And I also got to see the world title match between Seth and Balor last year, and also the Bloodline Civil War tag match where Roman Reigns got pinned. But anyway, we are not here to talk about last year. We are here to talk about this year. Last year Money in the Bank was in London, and this year it was in Canada. I was there last year for the PLE, but I wasn't there this year. So let's get down to business. Let's talk about Money in the Bank 2024. So the show opened with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. I knew it was going to open with this match. And it was main event Jey Uso versus Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes versus Chad Gable versus LA Knight versus Drew McIntyre. So I think the match was a pretty good one. It had a lot of crazy spots like Andrade and Carmelo Hayes like doing some sort of like reverse Spanish fly off the ropes onto a ladder. Like Carmelo and Andrade both landed on their stomachs on the ladder, and that looked pretty brutal, man. That looked pretty brutal. Uh, Also, Chad Gable falling from the ladder, like he was like hanging on the briefcase, from the ceiling, and then he fell, which was also pretty brutal. I mean, before that, he freaking suplexed LA Knight out of the ring, and LA Knight went into a ladder, and that looked pretty brutal. Mm. Oh, had to take a sip of the Pepsi. And yeah, so I thought Jey Uso was going to win this match, and you know what? Yeah, like Jey Uso and LA Knight also had like a fight on top of the ladder. Like when Jey Uso would hit LA Knight, the crowd would say "yeet," and then when LA Knight would hit Jey Uso, the crowd would say "yeah." So it was like a yeet versus yeah fight on the ladder. So yeah, I'm also shocked how there weren't any interferences from Wyatt Six during this match, to like distract Chad Gable. There was no interference from Logan Paul to to cost LA Knight the Money in the Bank. There was no interference from CM Punk during the ladder match. Uh, to cost Drew McIntyre the match. And speaking of Drew McIntyre freaking won. Drew McIntyre won the Money in the Bank briefcase. He won the ladder match. Drew McIntyre was Mr. Money in the Bank, but he's not Mr. Money in the Bank anymore. And I'm gonna get to why when I talk about the World Heavyweight Title match between Damian Priest and Seth Rollins. But yeah, I've seen some critics of this match. Like some people say it was too short. I mean, like I think it was pretty solid. I don't think it was too long or too short. I think it was. I think it was good enough. Like I think the time of this match was good enough. Drew McIntyre won, which I was happy about because I love Drew McIntyre. He's my favorite thing about Monday Night Raw every single week. Now that Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown, and yeah, I was happy to see him as Mr. Money in the Bank. But man, they did Drew McIntyre dirty later on in the show, and I'm gonna get to why. So yeah, Drew McIntyre won the ladder match. He became Mr. Money in the Bank for the first time in his career. Yeah, and yeah. Then after that, it was the WWE Intercontinental Championship match where Sami Zayn put his title on the line against Braun Breaker. Uh, this was, oh, and by the way, I only predicted two matches correctly in my predictions video, which was this Intercontinental title match. I said Sami Zayn was going to retain, and I was right. And the female ladder match, which Tiffany Stratton won, and I was correct. But I'm gonna get to that later. Uh, so yeah, this was a pretty solid match. It was a good match in my opinion. Same like Braun Breaker. He's the future of the WWE, man. He's the next he's the next big thing in my opinion. Like he reminds me so much of young Brock Lesnar, like 2002 Brock Lesnar and stuff. I've seen a lot of people say that they didn't like that Braun Breaker lost clean. I mean, to a degree, maybe I can agree. Maybe having him lose to Sami Zayn clean isn't the best way to build him up. But the thing is, Sami Zayn is one of the most over baby faces in the WWE. He still gets very good crowd reaction. And plus, this match happened in Canada, and Canada loves Sami Zayn. So, it was good to have Sami win for the crowd pop, and Sami Zayn is still the WWE Intercontinental Champion, which is cool. I'm a fan of Sami Zayn, and yeah, that's that. Uh, Yeah, so Sami Zayn is still the WWE Intercontinental Champion, but Braun Breaker will win this championship in the future. I am like 500% certain that Braun Breaker is a future champion. It doesn't matter honestly if it's the Intercontinental title, the US title, the World title. Like Braun Breaker, he will win a title in the future. I know that for a fact. But it was still a good match, and Braun Breaker is the future. Then after that, the host of Money in the Bank 2024, Toronto's own Trish Stratus came out, and she introduced us to John Cena. So John Cena came out and made his return at Money in the Bank, like he always does. Man, John Cena always makes his return at Money in the Bank. Remember back in 2021, he made his return at Money in the Bank to confront Roman Reigns after Roman Reigns beat Edge. And then last year, John Cena returned to announce, that London deserves a WrestleMania, and I was there in the crowd when John Cena returned last year at Money in the Bank. So it was cool to have like a moment with John Cena, I guess. But yeah, it's a shame WrestleMania is not happening in London. It's happening in Las Vegas. But anyway, and John Cena made yet another return to WWE at the Money in the Bank PLE. So cool. It was great to see John Cena. He's wearing a red attire, just like in 2011. It gave me 2011 vibes, seeing John Cena wear red. And yeah, he came down to the ring. He showed like when John Cena was about to run, when he was making his entrance. His I saw that his shirt said "The last time is now," and he also showed this, this thing that John Cena holds up. Like what is it called? Like some blanket or something? Or not blanket, but this thing. He held it up and it said "The last time ever." It usually says never give up on it. But this time it said the last time is now, and then John Cena ran to the ring, got a huge pop from the crowd. And John Cena talked about, he got in the ring, and John Cena announced that in 2025 he will retire from the WWE. So 2025 is gonna be his last year as a WWE wrestler. Uh, so yeah, he basically came down to the ring and he said that the 2025 Royal Rumble will be his last. 2025 Elimination Chamber will be his last. WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas will be the last WrestleMania John Cena will compete in. And John Cena said that he wanted to announce this in Canada because he knows that Canadians are always show up, and wherever WWE is hot or cold. And John Cena would also talk about how uh, that he loves the crowd, etc. Typical John Cena promo. But yeah, man, I'm not ready to see John Cena retire, man. Like he's one of the he's the very first wrestler I ever learned about. Like he's a legend, in wrestling. Like whatever you like him or hate him, you can't deny John Cena is one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time. He's in my opinion, he's the most popular wrestler of all time. Okay, some people might say The Rock is more popular, but I would say The Rock is more popular because of movies. John Cena is popular because of WWE, like most specifically. Like, let's be honest. So for me, John Cena is the most popular WWE wrestler. He is a man. Like there will never be another John Cena, man. And when he does retire, I think, yeah, I think I will be sad, man, because uh, he's John Cena. Like, well, what can I say, man? He's one of the greatest of all time. He was a hero to many, like kids, that looked up to John Cena. He was a hero to many. So yeah, it will for sure be sad once John Cena does retire. But one thing is for sure, I am looking forward to seeing John Cena compete some more. Like I can't wait because I've heard John Cena is gonna have like 30 to 40 matches in 2025. I'm looking forward to seeing John Cena more in WWE. Like I hope he's gonna be like a full timer in 2025. Like I would love to see John Cena like just be a full timer for a whole year. Like can he please like be a full timer for a whole year? Like compete on Raw, SmackDown, PLEs, and then he can retire. But I don't know. It's not my decision, but yeah, John Cena, thank you for everything. And I'm not ready for when John Cena is gonna say that. When John Cena says, "My time is up, your time is now. You can't see me." Man, it's gonna be sad when John Cena says that. But yeah, so thank you, John. Then after that, it was the World Heavyweight Championship match between Damian Priest and Seth Rollins. This match was pretty good, even though there were botches. Like for example, when Seth Rollins hit Damian Priest. He hit him with a Falcon Arrow, and the referee was counting. Damian Priest did not kick out, and the referee he acted like Damian kicked out when Damian didn't even move a muscle, and yeah, it looked pretty bad. The crowd was confused and stuff, and man, that looked effed up. It really did. So yeah, the crowd were confused, and because there are two conspiracies I've heard. Like I've heard two reasons to why Damian Priest didn't kick out. The first one says that Damian Priest got a concussion in this match, which I don't think he did, and then some other people claim that Damian Priest. That when Seth Rollins was pinning Damian Priest, the Drew McIntyre theme song was supposed to hit to interrupt the pin, which is why Priest wasn't kicking out. But yeah, or maybe Damian Priest just forgot to kick out. But if he did, then that's pretty effed up by Damian. But stuff happens. But during this entire match, Damian and Seth were always looking at the entrance ramp to make sure Drew McIntyre wasn't coming out. And then, after that Falcon Arrow, Drew McIntyre did come out. He cashed in the Money in the Bank. It turned into a triple threat match. Drew McIntyre hit Damian with a terrible Claymore kick. He hit Damian in the stomach. Whenever Drew does a Claymore kick, he's supposed to kick his opponent in the face, but he kicked Damian in the stomach. So yeah, and then CM Punk came out. He started beating the hell out of Drew McIntyre. He hit him with a steel chair, choked him with a I don't know cable or something, and then he got Drew back in the ring. CM Punk bashed Drew McIntyre over the face with the World Heavyweight Championship. And then Damian Priest hit the Sound of Heaven choke slam on Drew McIntyre, 1, 2, 3, and Damian Priest is still champion. So at SummerSlam, it's confirmed we are getting Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. Not really a SummerSlam worthy match, in my opinion. I believe Seth Rollins versus Gunther would have been the better match. I like Damian, but is he ready for a SummerSlam World Title match? I wouldn't say so. I think Rollins versus Gunther would be a way better match. Uh, but I guess Triple H didn't want to make he didn't want to make Seth Rollins a transitional champion, so I guess it makes sense. Because why would Seth win the title just to drop it to Gunther a month later? Because man, it's guaranteed that Gunther is winning the world title at SummerSlam from Damian Priest. And we're for sure getting CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. Oh, and by the way, after the show, Drew McIntyre appeared on like the Money in the Bank, like some press conference thing after the show, whatever that was called. And man, Drew McIntyre, he was pissed. He was like, he started shouting to the camera. He was like, "CM Punk, I know where you live. I know where." So he was basically doxing CM Punk. And then some referees and Adam Pearce started to they tried to calm down Drew McIntyre, and Drew McIntyre was pissed. Like pushed the referees away. He freaking pushed Adam Pearce. Then Wade Barrett was like, "Drew, calm down," and Wade Barrett calmed Drew McIntyre down. Man, this feud is. Man, what a feud this is. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk have literally this has been the best rivalry of Monday Night Raw. Like, I don't know, like this is one of the best feuds in the WWE right now. Maybe even the best. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, this was pretty cool. So yeah, Triple H and they kind of wasted the Money in the Bank. Like, why couldn't they at least just have like? I think we should have had CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the ladder match. I think that would have been better. Because and then have Jey Uso in Money in the Bank, because like they literally wasted the Money in the Bank briefcase. Like, I mean, I know it's kind of a breath of fresh air, because we just had like this year long storyline of Damian Priest holding the Money in the Bank. So I guess it's a breath of fresh air, but whatever. I mean, the briefcase did get kind of wasted, and you know what, I think Jey Uso should have maybe won the ladder match. They could have had CM Punk cost Drew the ladder match. That could have also made Drew pretty mad. Oh, and also Seth Rollins and CM Punk also had a stare down after the match. So yeah, Seth Rollins also hates CM Punk. You know, that's a match I want to see at WrestleMania, man. CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Like, that's the match I wanted to happen this year, but CM Punk got injured, and you know, Drew McIntyre benefited from CM Punk getting injured. Let's be honest, because Drew McIntyre turned into the most entertaining version of himself because of CM Punk getting injured. So that's pretty wild. So without CM Punk getting injured, it sucked when Punk did get injured, but I mean, it led to Drew McIntyre being the most entertaining he's ever been. This is the best Drew McIntyre ever, in my opinion. But yeah, anyway, I've been talking about this for a long time. So then it was the female Money in the Bank ladder match. It was Tiffany Stratton versus Chelsea Green versus Io Sky versus Lyra Valkyria versus Naomi versus Zoe Stark. Um, so yeah, I predicted that Tiffany was gonna win, and I was right. Tiffany Stratton became Miss Money in the Bank after. I mean, I didn't watch the match, but I did see the ending, and man, Tiffany freaking murdered Chelsea with that. She like pushed Chelsea off the ladder, and Chelsea fell from the ladder through a bunch of tables outside the ring. That was brutal, man. And Tiffany, unhooked the briefcase, and then later she encountered Trish Stratus backstage and said like, "Oh, your time is up, Trish, and my time is now. It's Tiffy time." So I'm expecting her to like make the briefcase pink. I think I know it's gonna happen. And then it was the main event of the evening. It was the six-man tag team match. It was Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton versus the Bloodline 2.0, namely Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tamatanga, and they had Tangaloa as their manager. So this match was pretty fun, in my opinion, but I hated the ending, man. Like, when Cody Rhodes started to hit the three crossroads on Solo Sikoa, man, I knew it was gonna be interrupted, man. Like, the ending was so unsatisfying, and throughout this match, Jacob Fatu looked like a monster. Like, man, he like no sold a Hangman DDT from Randy Orton. And Randy Orton was like, he didn't notice Jacob stood up behind him, so Randy like he started doing the taunt for the RKO, but he saw that Jacob was already up, so he was like, "What the heck?" and then he got a Samoan drop from Jacob Fatu. But yeah, and then the match was fun, whatever. And yeah, the match ended with Jacob Fatu, saving Solo from Cody Rhodes hitting a third crossroads. Jacob Fatu did like a whisper in the wind, like he did like the move Jeff Hardy used to do, and then he did like a execution DDT, a move Edge used to do. And then Solo Sikoa hit a spike on Cody Rhodes. 1, 2, 3. Solo Sikoa pinned Cody Rhodes. Very, very unsatisfying ending. I hated seeing Cody Rhodes lose to these jobbers. And at SummerSlam, we're for sure getting Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa. Oh my God, we're not gonna get Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. Like, who the hell wants Solo Sikoa in a WWE Championship match at SummerSlam? Nobody wants Solo Sikoa. Like Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton would have been way better because Cody and Randy they have a long story. They were in the legacy. Like imagine that story. But yeah, we're getting some pretty weird world title matches for SummerSlam. Priest and Gunther, and I love Cody Rhodes, but man, he need like Cody Rhodes. He should have a better opponent for SummerSlam, man. Like I love that Cody's the champion. I think he's a great champion. But man, like having Solo Sikoa as his challenger, like whatever, man. All right, the okay, this was Money in the Bank 2024. So yeah, what do I think was the best match of the night? I think maybe it was the six-man tag match. I know a lot of people said it was boring. In my opinion, it was fun. Uh, I fully expected Randy Orton to turn heel after the match and RKO Cody Rhodes, but no, we didn't get that. You know, which that's something I said in my predictions video. But anyway, yeah, this was Money in the Bank. From 0 to 10, I'm gonna give it a rating from 0 to 10. Man, I've been talking for 22 minutes reviewing this show. But anyway, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. So yeah, this was my Money in the Bank review of 2024. John Cena's retiring, which is sad, and yeah, this was a fun show. Money in the Bank briefcase did get kind of wasted, and John Cena retiring is sad, and Cody Rhodes losing and getting pinned by Solo was so irritating to watch. But anyway, this was my review. Yeah, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, peace out. Goodbye. Peace out. You can't see me.